Hey, how you doing? Nick Digilio here. How are you? Hey, thank you for checking out my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's free. You get new videos pretty much every day, sometimes twice a day. I'm starting a new podcast at the Radio Misfits Network. And so that'll be launching in mid to late January. And it'll be very similar to my WGN, old WGN radio show with some of the regular guests and topics and subjects and all that kind of stuff. And no bosses telling me what I can't and cannot do. So check that out. That'll be coming up. Subscribe to that, Radio Misfits podcastnetwork.com. Also, I am on Patreon, which I hope you would check out. Patreon is this really cool website that helps support artists and communicators and personalities who want to make videos or podcasts or art of any kind. And you can go to patreon.com right now, search my name, Nick Digilio, find my page, and become a patron. You can do it in three different ways. It's like $3 a month or $9 a month or stuff like that. And there's all kinds of really cool benefits that go along with that, like exclusive video access to videos that non-patrons can't get. I'm going to be telling some stories about WGN Radio, behind-the-scenes stories that are fun, and also basically one of the big stories about it, about being fired from WGN, and I'm going to tell you all about how that went down and how unfair and ridiculous it was. So if you want to hear the real story and not all the bullshit that's been on the internet and on groups and Facebook pages and message boards or chat rooms or whatever the fuck they're called now, all the lies and bullshit about people assuming why I got let go from WGN, I'll tell you the real reason. Go to patreon.com, look up my name, become a patron now. And you'll have exclusive looks at that, and plus other really cool stuff. But we're at the YouTube channel now, and I love to post stuff. So I watched this show on Access TV. And Access TV is basically a music-themed network. And they run a lot of, reasonably cool concerts and music documentaries about the making of albums and stuff like that. And they have a show called The Top 10 Revealed, which is hosted by Katie Darrell, an adorable blonde-haired radio personality / host. And it is where they have a top 10 list, music-related lists on every show. And I love countdown lists and best of this and worst of that and stuff like that. It's a wonderful conversation starter, and it gets you talking, and it's really cool. And I love talking about pop culture lists and things like that because it generates a lot of fun conversations, and used to do it on my show a lot to get the phone calls coming in and people having a lot of fun conversations. And talking about these lists and things like that can lead into different conversations and veer into different stories, which is why it's so much fun. It's a conversation starter, and conversation is the whole deal. So I watch it, and they have different topics for each list. And this last one that I watched was about rain songs. Top 10 Revealed is the name of the show. The top 10 rain songs. And I have the list here. I forget what order it is, but I do have their top 10 rain songs. And I found their list to be lacking, to say the least. Now, I'm not really sure what the criteria is. I don't know if it's songs generally that are about rain, or songs that are about rain and also have rain in the title, or just songs that have rain in the title, because every one of the songs on their top 10 list on this Access TV show can include the word rain. So then it got me thinking. I'm looking at this top 10 list, and I'll share that top 10 list right now from Access TV, and then I will add what I think is missing, some major rain songs that are missing, and then a few that don't have rain in the title that are kind of about rain or have rain mentioned in them. And a whole bunch of them popped into my head. And so what do you think? Leave your comments here about maybe some of the your favorite rain songs, something that I miss here. I've got a ton of them, so which is why I have my old man cheap-ass glasses that I got at Walgreens. Oh. Oh. Anyway, it's early, man. It's early. I used to sleep at this time. It's like 8:30 in the morning right now. I was asleep. I used to get home, fall asleep. Well, I used to fall asleep like right before. Well, whatever. Fuck, I'm just going off. Anyway, ooh. All right, so here's their list. Now, so let me just go through the list. Blame It on the Rain by the Milli Vanillis. Remember those guys, the Milli Vanillis? Milli Vanilli, two handsome model guys that were picked by a production crew and lip sync their songs, and I'm in love with two girls, all that shit. Got their Tony or Emmys or whatever the fuck, Grammys taken away from them. Blame It on the Rain is on there. I guess that's a fine Rain song. They mentioned I Can't Stand the Rain, and here's the thing. On this Access team, by the way, this show, the top 10 revealed, they have talking heads on there, like musical related talking heads. They got like Carney Wilson and LP, whoever that is. What's his ass from Twisted Sister, D. Snyder, a whole bunch of other people. The muscle-bound jag-off saxophone player who was in the Lost Boys, that idiot, and a whole bunch of other like music talking head people. That moron from TMZ with the long hair. Hey man, where they're where what's his ass Harry Leving or whatever the fuck his name is Sippy Cup. That idiot, he's on there. So they get a whole bunch of people to mention their favorites as well. So I Can't Stand the Rain. They say it's by Tina Turner. And they were like, oh, the Tina Turner. Yeah, Tina Turner, she's amazing. And yes, Tina Turner is obviously amazing. And her version was a pretty good version. But these idiots who they're interviewing, including like music people like Carney Wilson and Dee Snider, who should know better, didn't know that Tina Turner's version was a cover. Ann Peebles did the original I Can't Stand the Rain. And Ann Peebles' version, I think, is 50,000 times better than Tina Turner. But anyway, so they include I Can't Stand the Rain, specifically the Tina Turner version. Here Comes the Rain Again by Eurythmics. Phenomenal song, great song, perfectly suitable to be on the list. I would include that on my favorite Rain songs. No Rain by Blind Melon with the little bee girl. No. Let's see. The only thing that people remember from that is the bee girl. I'm Only Happy When It Rains. Jam from Garbage. By the way, if you're watching this, Esmeralda Leon, that's one of her favorite bands of all time, Garbage. And by the way, Esmeralda Leon is going to be on my podcast. She's going to be a regular on my podcast. Reuniting back. Subscribe to that podcast when it's available. But Only Happy When It's Rain by Garbage. Jam. Great song. That's on the list. Set Fire to the Rain by Adele. I have to plead ignorance. I mean, I like Adele. I think she's great. I'm just not apparently, it's a popular song. Set Fire to the Rain, which logistically doesn't make sense. It's Raining Men, Jam. Written by Paul Schaefer, by the way. The Weather Girls. It's a great song. You can't talk about rain songs and not mention It's Raining Men, because it's a goddamn jam and it rules. And then you have You Ever Seen the Rain by Creedence is on their top 10 revealed list. Two songs by Creedence actually should be on that list, because Who'll Stop the Rain is another one. Have You Ever Seen the Rain is a great... But by the way, can we just talk about how much Creedence Clearwater Revival fucking rules and how awesome John Fogerty is? Let's just... if you have not like sat down and actually listened to Creedence, if you don't appreciate what an incredible, one of the greatest American bands of all time, and John Fogerty, one of the best songwriters and most distinctive vocalists in the history of music... If you don't know that, you should. And if you do know that but you don't agree, you're a moron. Creedence rules. Have You Ever Seen the Rain? One of the best Rain songs of all time. Purple Rain made the list. You can't not include Purple Rain, Prince's classic song. And then they're number one on the list, which if I'm in the minority on this, but I think this song sucks ass, and I think the band sucks. November Rain by Guns N' Roses was considered the number one Rain song on the list on the top 10 revealed. I can't stand that song. What is it? 78 minutes long. I hate Guns N' Roses. I can't stand Guns N' I just don't even get me started. I know I'm in the minority on it, but Guns N' Roses can save it. Axl Rose is one of the most annoying jagoffs in the history of rock music, and he has one of the most irritating voices ever. So fuck November Rain. But it was number one, and I believe if you turn the video on now, it'll still be going next March. Okay, so that's their list. So it's Blame It on the Rain, I Can't Stand the Rain by Tina Turner. Here Comes the Rain Again, No Rain, Only Happy When It Rains, Set Fire to the Rain, Raining Men, Have You Ever Seen the Rain, Purple Rain, and November Rain. Now here's some of the ones that they missed. What about Eddie Rabbit? I love a rainy night. Yeah. Okay, I just thought of that one. The song sucks, but Eddie Rabbit, and there's windshield wipers. They got a beat or some shit. I don't remember. How about Laughter in the Rain by Neil Sedaka? Oh, I feel laughter in the rain and walking hand in hand. Yeah, it sucks. All right, now here's another band that I hate that everybody loves, The Doors. Now it doesn't have rain in the title, but it does have a goddamn thunderstorm right at the beginning. How do they not include Riders on the Storm? I hate The Doors, and I hate that song. But how do you not, if you're going to make that list? There's a goddamn thunderstorm in the song. How the fuck do you not put that on the list? How? It opens with a thunderstorm. You don't put it on the list probably because it sucks, but Riders on the Storm. How about Crying in the Rain by Whitesnake? Yeah! Goddamn Whitesnake. All right, Crying in the Rain. I Made It Through the Rain by Barry Manilow. How about that one? I made it through the rain. Wasn't that in a movie? Foul Play. Was it in Foul Play with the Chevy Chase and the Goldie Hawns? It sucks. Anyway. Now here's one. Doesn't mention rain in the title. But how do you not include Ain't No Sunshine by Bill Withers? What are you, nuts? What are you, insane? What are you, Katie Darrell? What are you, nuts? Are you nuts? Come on, man. Ain't No Sunshine, Bill Withers? Bill Withers! Please. Put him on a mountain. Put a crown on him. He's Bill Withers. Ain't No Sunshine? Fucking great song with rain in it. How about this? I Can See Clearly Now by Johnny Nash. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. Great song. Fantastic. Also one of my favorite, I Can See Clearly Now, the rain is also one of my favorite misheard lyrics of all time. One of the misheard lyrics is, I can see clearly now, Lorraine has gone. So evidently Johnny Nash was very upset. He was in a terrible relationship with Lorraine. He and Lorraine just had a really terrible, fucked up relationship, but she's gone, so now he can see clearly, because Lorraine is gone. Goddamn Lorraine. I hate Lorraine. Poor Johnny Nash. I'm glad Lorraine left him. He was very upset. How about A Rainy Night in Soho? The Pogues. Hey, I bet they were drunk when they did that song. Great song. What about Umbrella by Rihanna? Now, it doesn't have rain in the title, but it's about a goddamn umbrella. When do you use an umbrella? You use it in the rain. Rella, umbrella, rella. Yes, I'm in my 50s, and I just proved it by trying to sing Umbrella by Rihanna. How about Hard Rain's Gonna Fall? Dylan. Why was that not mentioned? It's Dylan. Another one that you missed. Well, here's one. Hey, maybe you ought to include Singing in the Rain. I don't know. Perhaps. Gene Kelly's Singing in the Rain. How do you talk about songs about rain or rain songs and not fucking mention Singing in the Rain? Now, you could be very disturbing and talk about Malcolm McDowell's version of Singing in the Rain and freak everybody. Yeah, my favorite version. You'd be a real creep, my favorite version of Singing in the Rain is Malcolm McDowell's version. I love that scene in Clockwork Orange. It's very romantic. I was just doing creepy dude. All right. What else we got? Singing in the Rain. We got, Come Rain or Come Shine. Ray Charles. Come on, that's a classic. Great song. Goddamn great song. How do you not, Katie Darrow, LP, whoever you are, why would you not mention, that? Come Rain or Come Shine. How about Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head? Little B.J. Thomas. A great movie that suddenly comes to a full stop so that they can do a music video. First time where a movie comes to a full... Butch Cassidy comes to a full stop so that they can do a musical song. They can dance around, ride around on a bike and singing in the... Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. Still love that movie, but that scene to this day, what are you doing? How about Rainy Days and Mondays by the Carpenters? You gotta love that song. You have to. Karen Carpenter, by the way, was a gift. That woman had the voice of an angel, Karen Carpenter. She was amazing. That song is so many great Carpenter songs. Paul Williams, one of the greatest songwriters of all time, wrote a lot of those songs. Rainy Days and Mondays, he wrote that. Beautiful song. Karen Carpenter, voice of God, voice from God, voice from of an angel, and she could play the drums. She was awesome. Rainy Days and Mondays. All right, now here is not a song, Rain's not in the title, but Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. Because the only time that thunder happens, you know when that is. When? When does thunder happen? Thunder only happens when? Oh, huh? Thanks for the weather report, Stevie. What do we got next? What is this? Oh, It Never Rains in Southern California. Can't remember who did that goddamn song. Who did that song? Leave it in the comments here. Who did that dumbass song, It Never Rains in Southern California? So maybe that should have been on the list, but I remember it. All right, let's see. Mandolin Rain. How about that one by the Hornsby, by the Bruce Horn? I used to play that as a music bump on my show all the time, Mandolin Rain, as a regular music bump on my show. Before one of the asshole bosses years later would tell me I couldn't play bumps, and if I did, I had to play, well, I'll get into that. If you go to Patreon and you become a patron, you'll be able to hear that story. Let's see, how about that Can You Stand the Rain by New Edition? See, now we're talking. Can You Stand the Rain by New... Can you stand the rain? That song is a goddamn jam. That's a fly jam. That's as fly jam as you can fly. So, yeah. So, Can You Stand the Rain by New Edition? Please. Fly jam. Should be on the list. Also, Kentucky Rain by Elvis. How can you not have Kentucky Rain? Kentucky Rain is falling down. I sound just like Elvis. Anyway, Kentucky Rain by Elvis, not on the list. Let It Rain by Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton is now a jagoff, but that's a good song. And if you're talking about rain songs, that should be on the list. You've got Fire and Rain by James Taylor. How do you not have Fire and Rain by James Taylor? I've seen fire and I've seen... It's a great song. Great song. Should have been included. I Wish It Would Rain by The Temptations. One of the greatest rain songs of all time. Do you see how this list, this damn top 10 revealed list is lacking? How I Wish It Would Rain by The Temptations is not on your list of great rain songs? How about It's Raining Again by Supertramp? I love Supertramp. And so does Paul Thomas Anderson. And so does William H. Macy, because he played him a lot on the jukebox at the bar in Magnolia. It all goes back to Magnolia. So it's Raining Again by Supertramp. And then you have two songs named Rain. Now, one of them is by Madonna, which I love, Rain by Madonna. So if you have a category of rain songs, you might want to include songs that are just called Rain. So there's Madonna. And then, of course, how in God's name do you have a list of rain songs and not include Rain by the Beatles? One of the greatest bass lines in the history of music. One of the coolest songs that the Beatles have ever done, and the song is called Rain. How do you not include it? All right, so the list is called Top 10 Rain Songs. This is the list. This is what they called the list on the Top 10 revealed on Access TV. Top 10 Rain Songs. Well, I don't know. You know, have you heard of Led Zeppelin? Let me just ask you. Have you heard of Led Zeppelin? They were a popular little British group. Led Zeppelin. Well, if you're making a top 10 rain songs list, perhaps you would include a song that is called The Rain Song. Yeah. The Rain Song. That's actually the title of a Led Zeppelin song. And that song, called The Rain Song, is not on the list of top 10 best rain songs. Anyway, so there you have it. Rain Song is one of my favorite Zeppelin tunes, and actually one of my favorite moments in Dazed and Confused, where they weren't completely drunk and sounding like crap. But anyway, let's make a list of top 10 rain songs and not include The Rain Song by Led Zeppelin. Yes. So anyway, those are songs about rain. The best rain songs. So I just threw some of them out there. If you've got more rain songs that you think should be included on the list, leave it in the comments. Like more of my YouTube videos. I'm going to be adding more of them. And check me out on patreon.com as well. So there you go. And I will be back soon with more stuff. Thank you. What am I, Chuck Barris? More stuff! Anyway, so thanks. And subscribe on my YouTube and check me out when my podcasts are going. There you go.